All right, and I'm back. So, in a move that surprised quite a lot of people, Microsoft just dropped $70 billion to buy Activision Blizzard Studios and pretty much every single studio associated with them in something that honestly could be a game changer for the gaming industry. So, let's break that down. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
All right, so Mob Nasty, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. I appreciate you joining me. I realized something. 5 o'clock is a little bit better than 4:30. I don't know why. My internet's just a little bit better. So I think, as I was mentioning, I'm not sure what time I was going to do my live streams anymore. I think I'm going to go 5 o'clock. I think 5 o'clock works a little bit better. Also, it gives me a little time after work to set things up. But before we get into all this stuff, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 5 p.m. on YouTube and on Twitch at Super Dario World. If you want to follow me and send me something privately, you can always do that on Instagram at Super Dario World and at Dario SDW. So let's get into this topic because I think it's super interesting and it's huge and it could have a very interesting consequences for the gaming world. So what I'm talking about here is the massive Godzilla-sized acquisition of Microsoft purchasing Activision and Blizzard. Now, for those of you who don't know, Microsoft is basically the owners of the Xbox. So it's basically like the Xbox has purchased Activision and Blizzard. And for those of you who don't know, Activision owns massive titles like, let's say, Call of Duty. You might have heard of that one. And Blizzard owns massive titles like Warcraft, StarCraft. What is it? What's the other one? I forget. Hearthstone. It's the newest one that I guess they've released. So this is a massive acquisition. And it has pretty interesting consequences in the gaming world. But before we actually get into all that stuff, let's talk about how we got here. And one big thing that got me really excited about this is, first off, Blizzard. Love Blizzard games. All right, I love StarCraft, love Warcraft. And I was never a World of Warcraft guy. I've never been an MMORPG guy, but I've always, I like the franchise. Their artwork is really good. And like I said, I'm a StarCraft guy. I'm a Warcraft guy. Warcraft 3. That's where I stopped. But their quality has been going to shit lately. And it's I think that's one of the biggest reasons of how or why Microsoft was able to buy them out. They wanted the intellectual property, but they don't really want all the baggage that comes with it, because Blizzard's kind of been going through the shitter lately. They're going through, ever since Gamergate, if you guys ever heard of Gamergate, ever since Gamergate, the gaming community has been getting a little bit weird. And currently Blizzard, its CEO, is going through a massive bunch of lawsuits. There's a bunch of harassment lawsuits and discrimination and blah, blah, blah. And so all that stuff leads here for, let's just say it was left for an opening for somebody to acquire the companies here. And Microsoft took a massive opportunity here and a massive risk, and they invested a buttload of money here. And so if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that much, because the gaming industry makes, combined, the gaming industry per year makes more money than the film, music, and television industry combined. So again, one industry makes more than the 3 biggest entertainment industries in the world combined. So gaming's got a lot of money. And so let's see, like last year alone, I think the entire gaming industry, if I'm reading this correctly, the games market in 2021 generated total revenues of $180.3 billion, and that was up 1.4% from 2020. So it's made a lot of money, and it's making more money. The thing that's interesting here is what this means for Microsoft, because Microsoft right now currently has I got really excited about this Xbox, as the Xbox Series X when it was coming out, because a friend of mine got really excited. He's a techie guy, and he was breaking down all this stuff, and he was super excited about it, and he was looking at the future of the company and what it wanted to do, and that got me excited. But mostly I got excited because Xbox currently has the best deal in gaming with its Game Pass. The Game Pass, honestly, it's phenomenal. I can't believe it. You could play all the Halo games you want and cost you like less than $20 a month. You have a plethora of even new games that come out, and it just saves you a bunch of money. And so if you look at it mathematically, let's say you pay $15. I think it's like $15. Or let's see. Oh, GCDR4EV. Godzilla for Eve. I don't know. Get ready for tons of NFTs and a Game Pass increase, $20 per month for Ultimate. Okay, so this is probable. It's possible that it's going to go up $20 a month. I still think it's worth it. So let's say you pay $20 a month for Game Pass. That means that a year you're paying $240. That's what, 4 new video games. So instead of so for the price of 4 new video games, you get access to one of the largest libraries in video games. That's still honestly, it's a fantastic deal still, and that's why I like it, because I'm a sucker for a good deal. But I'm not a big fan about cloud stuff. I like having physical copies. I don't like the fact that, for example, well, if I never purchased it physically, then they could just remove it from the library and I'd be able to play it again. So that's my big issue there. But needless to say, it's an amazing deal. It's highly convenient, and I recommend it because I've been enjoying it quite a lot. However, so Xbox is investing a lot of money in this, and I've been trying for years to figure this out. I don't understand how Microsoft makes money off of this. I don't get it. Like the newest Halo game, I'm sure cost them quite a few million, and it's now not for free. You pay a monthly fee, but you can get it on a Game Pass. So how are you making money off of games now? It doesn't make any sense. So it seems like Microsoft it's got a strategy to lose money, but to grow and pretty much push everybody else out of the market. However, Microsoft has one big competition here, and that competition is Sony. The interesting stuff here is that the day before Microsoft they made this major announcement, the head of Microsoft did a pretty interesting conversation. So I'm talking about Phil Spencer, who is the head of the Xbox, and basically said that the rumors of Sony having its own Game Pass competitor are inevitable, which makes perfect sense. So it's only a matter of time for Sony to actually be like, hey, you know what? We're getting our asses kicked. We're taking it in the teeth, and the Game Pass thing is just too much of a good deal. We're gonna have to do something similar. And so eventually, they'd be stupid not to do it. It'll most be if like Sony stayed as Blockbuster while Netflix and Xbox is Netflix. It would be a very, very bad deal. And so eventually the industry is going to go in that direction. And so Sony will be catching up eventually. At least I think it's going to be. And it's a good deal for gamers. It's a really good deal for gamers because, so let's say Sony comes out and it's $15. Well, Microsoft can't go all the way up to 25 now because Sony's going to be cheaper. So again, it's going to be a fight for the market. Whenever two companies are fighting for the market, it's good for the customer. So good on that. Also, it's honestly, it's a convenient way to play. I hate online stuff, but it's a convenient way to play. I can't argue results. And the funny thing is that after this deal went through, or the announcement of this deal, Sony took it in the teeth. Like, but massively, just took a massive hit in the teeth in the stock market, because Sony, after this announcement was made, saw its stock drop by $20 billion. $20 billion after Microsoft announces, I bought Activision Blizzard, and Sony stock tanked. Why? Why did it tank? What is happening? Well, what properties does Activision Blizzard own that could really hurt Sony? Well, the reason that I'll just read some of the franchises here that they own. So Activision owns Call of Duty, which is a massive online game. Crash Bandicoot, which is whatever. Guitar Hero, whatever. Spyro the Dragon's fun. Skylanders, Tony Hawk, okay. Blizzard owns Diablo, Hearthstones, Lost Vikings, Overwatch, StarCraft, World of Warcraft, and King owns the Bubble Witch Saga, Candy Crush, Diamond Saga series, Farm Hero Saga, Pet Rescue. So those would be like the big titles, right? The big franchises that they owned. So so far it's not confirmed that any of the Activision games are going to be exclusive for Microsoft, but it'd be really dumb if it wasn't. Like, why would you buy a massive studio only to still produce games for your competitor? It doesn't make any sense. So what everybody's speculating right now is Xbox that it's going to new home of... That's wrong. So it's that Sony has to keep up. Sony needs to catch up immediately. So far, they still control a bigger part of the market. They still sell more consoles than Microsoft. But if they don't catch up technology-wise, they are screwed. They are massively screwed. So this is a comment from from an advisor in Asymmetric Advisors. So here you go. I don't know what he actually does, but here's the comment. Sony will have monumental challenge on its hands to stand on its own in this war of attrition. With Call of Duty now most likely to be added exclusively to the Gamer Pass roster, the headwinds for Sony are only going to get tougher. Again, it's now Sony's playing catch up. I think for the first time in its history, in its video game history, Sony has to play catch up with Microsoft. This could be really good, again, really bad. So if Sony manages to catch up and keep fighting, claw its way, and actually be on equal footing and all this technology wise with Microsoft, then we're gonna have something interesting, because it's going to be good for the market, good for the customers. It's gonna be all good because more competition. If Microsoft destroys Sony, which looks like it's trying to do, that's gonna be really bad for gamers. It's gonna be really bad because they're going to be able to just control the market and do whatever they want. Now, Microsoft has a bunch of advantages that Sony doesn't, and that's that Microsoft technically has two different markets. They have the market for the PC gamers and they have the market for the Xbox gamers, which they figured out very cleverly that those two markets are not the same. The people who like playing a game on the PC are not the same who like playing on the Xbox, and sometimes people like keeping things separate. As much money, let me see a comment here. As much money as Microsoft spent, Sony only needs to buy or make quality FPS and 2 RPGs, one Western, one JRPG. That can be solved by buying Square Enix and Bungie, and it would only cost them $5 to $6 billion for both. Listen, I 100% agree that the solution here for Sony to win, and it's kind of what I was getting to, is make better games. Now, the advantage that Microsoft has is that it's got this big platform, it's got all this money and all this stuff, but it doesn't matter if the games are shit, okay? It doesn't matter. You can have a million games in the Game Pass library. If the games suck, then nobody's going to want to play them. Nobody's going to buy it. Nobody's going to be there. Sony, all he has to do is focus on making better exclusives and catching up technology-wise. So I think this is good because Sony has better exclusives overall, or at least more exciting ones. And so now what they need to do is, what Microsoft is doing is pushing them to catch up to give us a better gaming deal. So if we get a better gaming deal with better titles, again, consumers winning. So it's an opportunity, and that's why it's exciting. It's also scary because we never know how this could end up. And Microsoft's plan is actually pretty huge. Like, they're actually looking into metaverse stuff, and so that is related with the Facebook stuff. So imagine we're talking about the virtual reality video gaming stuff, like bringing it, actually reaching the levels of Ready Player One and stuff like that. So they're pushing it really hard. They're pushing it really fast. They have a massive plan for cloud gaming. I don't know if they have the technology there yet, but they're pushing it and they're investing hard because I think they see this as the way of the future. Honestly, I don't hate it. I just want Sony to catch up a little bit faster so that we get better deals, because I like money. I like saving money. So there you go. Now, the big problem here I think for Xbox is that it's bringing along the CEO of Activision Blizzard, a guy named, Bob Oder. I want to say Bob Oderick, but I'm pretty sure that his name's wrong. Let me just double check here. The CEO, Bob, what's his name? It's not Spencer. No, what is it? What the hell's his name? Anyway, but the point is, this dude's he's suffering from a lot of massive controversy. The CEO of Activision Blizzard, and the Bob Kotick. I was close. Bobby Kotick. And so he's got a lot of controversy. Supposedly, thank you. And so supposedly they might get rid of him after this deal goes through, and it won't go through until June 2023. So it's still not 100% set in stone, but it looks like it's set in stone. It's just, I don't know. I'm guessing when you make $1 billion acquisition, you want to cross your T's and dot your I's. Anyway, so the big issue that they have is, first off, that dude, kind of slimy dude, according to rumors and stuff like that. I don't really care unless you prove something in the court of law. I don't really care. But here's the thing: the issue I see is Blizzard. Blizzard is a massive issue because Blizzard had been going down the toilet for a while now. Blizzard has a massive reputation problem right now because, first off, let's say their biggest, most lucrative title, World of Warcraft, was bleeding players. They were all leaving for what? For Final Fantasy 14. Why? Because the game sucked. They stopped making good games. And you know what the big issue with Blizzard was? Why? I knew people who worked at Blizzard and they left because the working there sucked. And a lot of the original creators, the original people there left. So most of the people who made the company what it was, they left. They got fired. They got pushed out. They did something. They had this guy Bobby Kotick. He fired thousands of employees after their most lucrative year ever, fired thousands of people, and then hired a few thousand more to replace the same position. So it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You're cleaning house. So you get rid of all your creative talent. And this happens a lot with people who don't value, let's say, artists and engineers and coders. They're artists in their own way. So you have this guy who builds this game, who creates this thing, and everybody loves it. It's fantastic, this writer. And so once you do something that's, let's say, worth $10 million, you expect to get paid $11 million the next time because you could make something better, right? That's how you go. Your value starts going up. And so with this guy decided, you know what? Here in Blizzard, we have all these dudes that are really expensive. So how about if we get rid of them, hire a bunch of new guys that are really cheap, and we'll make more money? And you know what? Guess what? It sucked because you hired people who were not as talented, who were not as good. So your game started sucking. And so what happened? And there's an alternative. So people who were hardcore World of Warcraft gamers started leaving for Final Fantasy. Why? Because Final Fantasy got its shit together. At first it sucked, but it got its shit together. And so it's been happening a lot. It's been disappointing a lot of people. And honestly, I still think it's a piece of shit move that they laid off like 800 employees and then they hired 2,000 to replace the same people. That's also have massive censorship issues. It's got a lot of baggage. So this could be an opportunity for Microsoft to clean house and clean up Blizzard and bring back, all the good people. Or it could be an opportunity just, or it might just do what Disney did with all the Marvel stuff and just, all right, we're just going to take your properties and do something new with them. I don't know. It's an opportunity. Here's the thing. It's an opportunity. It's a massive opportunity. It could be an industry-wide game changer. The big question is Sony going to be able to keep up? Now, Nintendo's going to do its own thing. Doesn't really matter. It's going to do its own thing. The only real competition that they have is Sony. So is Microsoft going to just keep eating up the market, or is Sony going to respond somehow? And honestly, I'm really excited for that response because, again, this usually means good deals for gamers. So either they respond, you know what, we're making better games, or we're making it competitively in terms of finance-wise. So we'll make it cheaper options for you, which will force Microsoft to stay down. So I think this is a win-win, honestly. From where I'm sitting, it looks like a win-win. I don't mind paying a little extra if you give me good games. That's all I care about. Give me good games. That's really all I need. And honestly, more money doesn't necessarily mean better quality. Like, for example, well, I'll say this till I die. Last of Us 1, look at the budget for that. Last of Us 2 had like 100 times the budget, and it sucked balls. So money does not guarantee quality, all right? So hopefully what we get is high quality stuff for a cheap price, because unfortunately that's what it means when there's high market competition. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes through. I think it'll go through, like I said. And Sony's motivated. They're massively motivated because, again, they just imagine losing $20 billion in a day all because your rival made an announcement. Like, can you imagine that? They gotta be like putting the pedal to the metal. And unfortunately, that might make them a little bit desperate and they might rush it. But if they keep at it and they make something that's comparable or better, this is good news for us. So I'm excited, and I hope that they finally fix all the franchises over there at Blizzard and they get their act together and they start making better games, because honestly, they need it. Like, Blizzard has amazing properties. They have some of the best and most talented artists in the world working for them. Put them to better use, guys. Put them to good use. Because right now it's been proven that whatever Bobby Kotick did wasn't working. He's a piece of shit. And I don't mean because all the sexual harassment and discrimination laws and all that stuff. I don't care, because that's not proven. What we know for sure is what he did with the games and the people who were working there. So fuck that guy. Anyway, that's it, because I'm done for today. Let me see. Well, it's Sony and Tencent. No, Tencent owns League of Legends. Have their hand in Remedy, Quantic Dream, and more. Yeah, they do. And honestly, I almost forgot to mention this. This is all has to do also with the e-gaming, esports community. Microsoft is also going to be taking over all the esports stuff. They want to expand there. I think this is going to keep getting bigger and bigger. Esports is going to keep getting bigger and bigger. I don't know why it hasn't been exploited yet. I don't understand it. We have wrestling. You could just do like a wrestling show, but make it a gaming show. The thing is, you need stars, man. You need stars. And they just don't know how to do it quite yet. And I think the issue is that they pick really weird games and most people don't understand. Like, I know that Like the League of Legends finals had millions of viewers and all that stuff, but why isn't that translating to mainstream? I think it's because most people don't understand how to play League of Legends. So if they simplify things a little bit and they got some stars, I think that's all they need. However, they're setting up, Microsoft's setting up everything else. It's getting the intellectual properties, it's got the technological advancements, it's got a lot. So there's going to be pretty interesting stuff in the horizon in the world of gaming. I think this is the new interesting frontier that we will be exploring. I'm very excited about it. Hopefully you are too. I will keep you posted as soon as I hear more. Again, I won't be surprised if we hear something soon, some kind of Sony announcement. Like they might rush it, but I think we're gonna be hearing something from that soon, because you don't lose $20 billion and just go back to bed. You wake up everybody and you put them to fucking work. So we'll see how that goes. I think that's a good place to stop, because actually I'm going to go to the Tool concert today. So I got to get out of here. So as always, comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Super Dario World on YouTube and on Twitch, live streaming Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 5 p.m. If you want to join me, if you want to send me something privately, you can do that on Instagram at Super Dario World and at Dario SDW. As always, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.